¿Qué puede esperar en lo que empieza el proceso de transición? Si su hijo ha estado recibiendo servicios de infantes a 3 años durante un periodo de tiempo, puede ser difícil pensar en qué viene después.
The first day I dropped Milo off at school, I cried.
I've never left him off these hours with anybody that I do not know.
How is my child going to be with them? Is he going to be okay?
No sabía cómo iba a reaccionar mi hijo dentro de la escuela.
He's been, by my side day one. And then having this diagnosis, I've kind of hugged him a little tighter.
¿Qué puede esperar en lo que empieza el proceso de transición? ¿Cuáles son los distintos pasos y cómo se puede preparar usted misma y a su hijo?
As the child gets closer to being 2.5, we make a referral to the school district.
We reach out to the school district with the parents' permission, and we talk about the two-step process that we have to help transition the family to the school district's responsibility.
We are going to help you build a good relationship with the next people. This is what's so important. Everything is about us all being able to communicate, being able to be on board for your child.
Uno de los pasos iniciales de la transición es lo que se denomina la reunión de transición. Esta reunión informal permite que los padres y el personal escolar se conozcan y empiecen a prepararse para los siguientes pasos.
The transition meeting takes place with the public school and the family and Birth to Three, and it is Birth to Three's meeting. So it is our responsibility to prepare a family properly for this meeting and what is going to happen, what is going to be discussed.
She prepared me to answer a lot of questions, prepared me for what was going to happen, and any question I had, she was right there. Any concern I had, she was right there.
We're a team. We're going to do this together. I'm here to help you, and we're going to do what we can to get that little person enrolled in the right program that's a good fit.
Las familias pueden elegir dónde se celebrará la reunión de transición.
So when we had the transition meeting, we had 3 people come over to our house, and our service coordinator was there. It was really great because it was in my son's natural environment, so they got to see him play and interact with me there instead of me just explaining everything to them.
Our transition meeting we chose to hold at the public school. I went in very nervous to that meeting, but when we were there, the people were so warm. I was able to watch them interact with my child. I was able to see that they were really good people, which calmed my nerves.
El próximo paso es la reunión del equipo de planificación y colocación, o la reunión PPT. Esta reunión se celebra en la escuela.
That's the eligibility PPT. At that meeting, they will then either decide to accept some evaluations from Birth to Three because they're current, or choose to do their own evaluations, or a combination of both of those.
You won't go by yourself. You'll have somebody that you know with you. So that's the easy part.
It is really our role to make sure the parent can really represent their child the best.
She did teach me to kind of be the lead voice there. When we met with the school system, I kind of knew what to expect and knew which questions to ask, so they really did help me prepare for that.
I had talked to my husband a bunch and discussed what we thought the school needed to know. So we literally went in with a checklist of things we wanted to talk about, and as we talked about them, we checked them off.
If you're a little nervous about it, bring a family member or friend. If nothing else, just to sit with you. They don't even have to say anything, but you as a parent have a legal right to bring whoever you would like to the PPT.
La segunda reunión del PPT será para determinar si el niño es elegible para los servicios de educación especial.
That team, which includes the parents, and it also includes a representative from Birth to Three, if they find at PPT2, when they review the evaluations, that the child does have a disability and requires specialized instruction, then they'll design an individualized education program.
El Programa Educativo Individualizado, o IEP por las siglas en inglés, describe los servicios que un niño elegible recibirá.
IEPs are goals specifically for your child, and the goals should be what's driving the interaction with the staff and the child. So when the birth to three folks are interacting with you, there are family goals. That's the whole thing. How can we help you? And when you get to the school, it is how can we help your child?
Well, we have kind of passed the baton, so I'm able to build a relationship with that family and provider so that I can better assist them with what the child's really going to need in that classroom and, what are some strengths and weaknesses. And I think it helps the classroom teacher also just pick up that baton and continue to have that great relationship.
We want your child to become independent, so that we are going to ask that, you take a little bit of a step back and let us kind of develop the relationship with your child on our own. And we'll reach out. Certainly, we want you to be a part of it, but the roles just shift a little bit.
Si se determina que su hijo no es elegible para los servicios de educación especial, Infantes a 3 años le ayudará a conectar con otros servicios basados en la comunidad para ayudar a satisfacer las necesidades de su hijo.
And just because you're not eligible when you're 2 years, 9 months, or 3 years old, doesn't mean you're not going to want to call your school district 6 months later when something's changed. And if you form those relationships at a transition conference, I think it's a little bit easier.
Independiente si su hijo asistirá a una escuela pública u otro programa, es crítico preparar a su hijo para la transición. Esto debe incluir despedirse de su trabajadora de infantes a 3 años y visitar la nueva escuela o programa.
We prepared for the goodbyes. They made a picture book for Summer because we knew that, she was going to miss them because she's seen them all the time.
So my advice for the families that I work with, that I know the child struggles with transitions, is social stories.
We take pictures of the staff, the room, so that the child gets the social story book prior to going to the preschool, and we go through the book with them. And when you're going to have Miss Jen, and she's going to read books to you, and build up that staff as well.
I would ask to kind of visit the new facility that your child is going to ahead of time to prepare them so they can meet their new teacher. It's a big change for a small child, and preparing them as much as you can, it really is key.
Esta transición les ofrecerá a ambos, usted y su hijo, la oportunidad de conocer a gente que apoyará a su familia de nuevas formas.
When family do come in and we shake hands or say hi, and we say hi to the child, they get to sense that they're already wanted in the classroom. I think that's my role, to make sure that family feel as comfortable as they can in the classroom and welcome.
I will go over the daily routine, what usually happens in the classroom, and what our policies and procedures are. And then there's a lengthy amount of time for the parent just to ask questions, because it's my chance to get to know them better, their chance to get to know me and the program better, and for us to start establishing a trusting relationship.
One of the classroom teachers, who is actually his teacher still, she came out and played with him. And she just came and just played. She put no demands on him. And the principal came and popped her head in and just to say, hey, welcome. We're so happy to have him. We can't wait for him to start. I left there thinking, they love that kid already, So it was such a relieving experience when we walked out of there. I remember being able to breathe again.
I really feel like that peer engagement is going to be huge for him, and I'm very excited for that.
Honestly, just seeing her excel so much more than I could have pictured for her, with so many resources available and so much help available.
Comes happy home and learning and singing, and you can see in his face. And to me as a parent, that's the best feeling.
Ha mejorado su habla, su vocabulario, está agarrando muy bien, puede ser, yo creo que está agarrando muy bien el inglés y pues por otro lado el español también.
It put my son in a better place, and once you kind of realize that they're on your team and they're on your side to best help your child, it's a great success.
The day he went and got his own backpack, because I said, let's go to school. He went and got his backpack, and I said, okay, then he's all set. He loves school, so we did it right.